giving enough. And so when AP says, enough is enough, on defense, just do what they need to do. And I don't know what their defense do, but, I'm sure they have some things they can do. But as us, as an offense, it's talking about, third quarter, fourth quarter, like playing a full 60 minutes instead of like a great 30 and then a crappy 30.
Right.
Because, if we would have done that most of the year, then I'm sure we'd be in a better position, but, we're exactly where we need to be.
When you look at the offense and you watch the film, do you feel like the answers are there?
100%. Because there's no difference between the defense in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. Yes, they make some adjustments, but it's the same personnel. Like the Chiefs, it's still Chris Jones, it's still Karlaftis, it's still Mike Donald, it's still Tranquil. Like, it's still the same players. Maybe they're doing something a little bit better now, and they're improving on a certain aspect of their defense that they weren't doing great on before. But, it's the same players and the same core. So for us, we need to just do what we've been doing and be able to replicate that in the third and the fourth quarter, which I think we're doing a really good job of this week.
Last question. You have 5 games left. Do you feel like there's still time for that offense to reach the
100%. Like, shoot, you have time until the freaking last game. Right? The last game comes, whatever your record is whatever your record is. But it's funny because we're in the same position last year. I think we're 5-7 last year at the same time, but we didn't do enough to, we could have got to the playoffs,
right, but
we didn't do enough to get there. And I like to say, I got it from New England, from Coach Scar, this game's the biggest one of the season because it's the next one. Right. And so, we still have a bunch of time, but the clock is ticking. And if we don't get it down now, then shoot, it's not going to happen. So, AP is saying time is now, time is now.
Thank you.
No problem.
How you doing, Jermaine? Curious as to what specifically is the mindset of the offensive line heading into the next 5 weeks?
Shoot, just play your ass off. Play your ass off. And go out there and do what you need to do. Like, everyone has a job, whether it's left tackle blocking Will Mills on the other side, whether it's me at right tackle blocking Hunter or Mac, or whoever, like Chiefs or Colts and the Broncos. You all have a job to do, and everything is still everything's still there. Everything's still right in front of us, and we're lucky to be in this position where everything's still in front of us. So as an offensive line, we know what we want to do, we know what we can become, and we know we're right there on the brim of it, and it's just about taking the next step forward and getting over the hump and becoming the offensive line we want to be.
100%. I'm curious as to how much does the bye week actually help? Can you give some insight into that?
I think it helps refresh you, because if you think about it, we've been going since July.
Yeah.
We haven't had more than 3 days off since July. So July, August, September, October, November, that's a lot of freaking football. That's a lot of pads, it's a lot of hitting. People are beat up, and mentally you're just beat up. And so to have the bye then, last week, I think was perfect because everyone just get to get away, refresh, and just remind themselves why they play this game, just be around their loved ones, whether it's around their mom and dads or they're around their wife and kids, just being able to spend that quality time with your family, it's going to remind you why you play this game. Some people play for their family, some people play for the money, some people play for the love of the game. I don't really think we have the money guys on there. I think everyone just loves this freaking game, loves, hearing the pads hit each other and seeing our quarterback throw the ball deep and our defense freaking run all over the place and just beat the crap out of people. Everyone loves that. And so the bye week was great because it was able to remind us all of that. And, just sit back, watch some games and see that we're not that far off at all. I'm sure, you guys as media watch the games too. You watch our game, you're shoot, we're 14 up on the Chiefs. That's the best team down there in the NFL right now. Yeah, they just lost to the Packers, but, that's one of the best teams in the league. And as us, as an offense and as a team, we see that and we're okay, so we are in that position. What can we do to stay in that position instead of making it even harder than it has to be? And so that's why the bye week was great because we got to really look at things and see what we could improve on to make games kind of like that and just to be better in games and to finish.
Last question for you. Can you talk a little bit about the growth that you've noticed in Aiden over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks?
He's like a dictator. It's I like to say, that mustache is taking control. It's getting longer. Now, he's just more vocal. You can tell literally from the first freaking time he was in the huddle. You have a bunch of grown men around you. A bunch of big guys who've been playing the NFL for a minute. You have Taylor, one of the best receivers, not the best receiver in the NFL. You have freaking Josh, best running back in the NFL. You have Jacoby Hunter, some of the best receivers in the NFL. You have this huddle, and that stuff can be kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It can just kind of a little bit scary because you're damn, I know these grown folk in the freaking huddle, and their livelihood depends on me doing my job. Because if you think about the quarterback's the most important position on the team. You know, he makes the offense run, and defense, you know, they'll say all the time, but they feed off what he does. You know, when Max sees freaking Aiden throw a bomb out there or gets a first down, you see Tay running through someone or Josh running through someone, you know, that freaking hypes them up and that gets them going and that makes them want to go on the field and do something too, so they feed off each other. So I feel Aiden's done a great job of just making the offense his and making the team his. And, you know, he doesn't have a C on his chest, but damn near he's one of the captains. So that's a lot to say as a rookie because, you know, it can be intimidating. It can definitely be intimidating. Just, you know, having a size and go out and be like, yeah, you know, all eyes are on me. If I throw this ball bad or I take this sack or if I, reads right, then, you know, that can lose or win games. And he's really taking control of that. And nothing scares him anymore. Like, I don't think he's afraid of anything. Like, you know, he's 10 toes deep and he's ready to go. So I'm excited to just play with a guy like that.
Sure.